to describe in another way. So when we try to speak English, we often realize
Meow meow. Meow 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 meow. Hello. Hello YouTube. Should put the live chat on. You know, I hope I don't get disconnected this time. Something was wrong yesterday. I actually had to restart the stream. For some reason, the streaming PC cannot reconnect to the internet. Even if it's a freaking Ethernet cable already. You know, not Wi-Fi. What the freak? They're in the regular faction, but they have a war mammoth. Oh. Oh, it's so freaking Tamarkand. So this is a multiplayer. So of course I'm Beastman, and then my ally is Reichland, so the Empire. So this is one what do you call this? This is one disadvantage. We're too fast. You know, my ally gets left behind. Right now I'm getting my great weapons to fight Tamarkan himself. Because they have bonus versus large. I think there is a good flank by my ally. Blunderbosses. Thought we got him already. And then my Minotaurs with normal weapons not the big ones. Get them to chase down the infantry. Or we can repeatedly charge. That's really a good... Ooh, frick! They got my lord. It's a big hit on our morale. But we did so much damage already, that's very good. Where's that coming from? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna get down more gun. It's a good playing by my ally. Oh wow, I'm top 2 in damage. I'm using there are a lot of friendly fires here also. Oh, hell yeah. And I really love this game. I'm very happy I got the basement. Let's see. How about I don't know how I managed to defeat Slaanesh. I shouldn't say I I should say we. No, I didn't do it by myself. I'm so tempted to make all my troops blunderbosses. But you know, that's not very good strategically. 550. This is gonna be hard. I don't have anti-large. Or more piercing. Don't have anti-large. $900. Just having a good time. And I actually took a nap. I took a nap again today. I didn't know I had YouTube music. Okay, so right now I'm just being grateful about life. And I'm pretty concerned that I'm atrophying. Because you know,
Guys, I know what I want to say,
let's listen to this. Now, I wanna learn more.
but there's no natural way to say it. So that feelings makes us think we can't fully express ourselves, and that becomes a huge barrier to fluency. So if you've ever felt that Japanese people's English is hard to understand, there is a reason. Some English sounds simply don't exist in Japanese. For example, R, right, late, and right. To us, all sound almost the same. And even if I know the difference, my tongue just isn't used to those movements. Another nightmare is bus and the back. They sound identical to my ears, and I had never even tried a foot sound before in my life. Once I even had to scrap a whole videos. For example, R, right, late, and right. To us, all sound almost the same. And even if I know the difference, my tongue just isn't used to those movements. Another nightmare is bus and the back. They sound identical to my ears, and I had never even tried a foot sound before in my life. Once I even had scrubbed a whole video because I thought I was saying bath, but it came out as bath. Because I don't know the difference between the two sounds. Technically I know, but I can't differentiate. So I don't realize I'm saying the wrong word. So in short, the problem isn't just like hearing the sound, it's that our tongues and the mouth were never trained to make them. So now that we know the language and the pronunciation challenges, another big question is, what are Japanese people actually learning in school? When I was a student, English education started in elementary school, but the goal wasn't communication, it was passing tests. Classes basically focus on reading and writing, memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary. Speaking and listening were very practiced and pronunciation was almost ignored. Because obviously they weren't needed for exams. I recently checked today's textbook. They are thicker and look more modern, but the core hasn't changed. Still grammar focused and test driven. Even sections like let's talk exist, but since they don't affect the scores, teachers often skip them. That is why so many Japanese people, including me in the past, can understand English but still can't speak it. Another big problem I can't miss is the lack of English-speaking environment. The situation is a bit different now, but even in Tokyo, it's rare to be approached in English. And in rural areas, the need is almost zero. I've lived in Tokyo for about 10 years already, and I honestly can't remember a single time a stranger spoke to me in English. But here's the surprising part. Countries like, let's say, Mongolia or Kyrgyzstan rank higher than Japan, even though they don't have much more exposure either. I assume that the real difference is motivation. But in many, let's say, developing countries, English is life-changing. It can mean a much higher salary or even opportunities abroad. For example, when I lived in Indonesia, the average monthly salary was around $300. That's less than what someone could earn from just a few online jobs, let's say online video editing in English. In Japan though, you can live your whole life without English, honestly, and still be fine. So that is why only a small number of people feel a strong motivation to really become fluent. And something many people don't realize is our cultural background. In Japan, making mistakes is often seen as something to be embarrassed about. So let me share what
Man, you're gonna have a very hard time if you're always embarrassed. I'm speaking from experience.
it was like when I was an elementary school student. So the teacher would ask a question and randomly pick a student. If the answer was correct, the whole class shouted, "That's correct." But if it was wrong, everyone shouted, "That is incorrect." So imagine how that feels, especially for young children. When you get it wrong, the entire class immediately rejects your answer. Well, naturally, you become more careful and afraid of making mistakes. Well, this kind of attitude toward behavior is everywhere in Japanese society. It shows up strongly when speaking English. We kind of feel embarrassed if we can't say something perfectly. So instead of trying, we stay silent. I believe some of you may have visited Japan and felt that people avoid speaking English or seem to ignore you. In many cases, it's not that they can't speak at all, it's that they are too afraid of making mistakes. And the truth is, most Japanese people learn about 2,500 English words through school. It's not a lack of knowledge, it's the psychological burden. The fear of being wrong that holds us back. So in the end, it's not just one reason why Japanese people struggle with English. Even now, it's our language structure, unique expressions, pronunciation difficulties, a test-focused education system, the lack of an English-speaking environment, and even our cultural attitude toward mistakes. But things are slowly starting to change, with more foreigners in Japan and the weekend making English more relevant in daily life. Maybe we will see more Japanese people actually using the English they have studied. So, what do you think about it? Do these struggles sound familiar or maybe surprising? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment box below. I also cover many other topics beyond English, from everyday challenges to things you'd never expect in Japan. So, feel free to check out my other videos right from here as well. Alright, so thanks so much for watching again, and see you in the next video. Bye. This is America in Japanese, and this, and even this.
What the
The same
freak?
country, three different scripts, and sometimes even different pronunciations. Needless to say, language is supposed to be simple. So why is Japanese full of complex rules and expressions that seem almost unimaginable? As mentioned at the beginning, Japanese is made up of three characters: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. And the interesting about this is that with just hiragana, Japanese people can read, listen, and read without any problems. And especially kanji, where you need to memorize more than words just right for everyday use. Why is kanji still so indispensable today? There are three main reasons why kanji is essential. The first one is readability. Please look at this famous Japanese tongue twister. Sumomomo momomo momonouchi. It literally means like both grammar and peaches are types of peaches. But as you can see, with only hiragana, it's just a long string of repeating mo sounds, but almost impossible to tell where one word ends and the next begins. Right, so now compare it with the version that mixes kanji. Well, suddenly it's much easier to read. Even if you can see the chunk
The
of the
freak?
word. The second reason is that Japanese has a very few sounds. So some of the words end up with the exact same pronunciation, unfortunately. For example, this hashi could mean plate, chopsticks, or edge. Well, without kanji, you'd never know which one it is. Sure, English has also homonyms like bank for, like, let's say, riverbank, and bank for financial institution, but the Japanese have these phrases on a whole different scale. That is why kanji is crucial for Japanese. Alright, so the third one is really weird and interesting, but not logical at all. Well, in Japanese, the choice of script somehow changes the feelings of the word. Take arigato, which means thank you, as an example. In hiragana, when I see it, it feels like soft and casual. In kanji, it feels like formal or like business-like, to be honest. In katakana like this, it feels playful, like an ad slogan or some meaning behind it. The meaning is identical, the pronunciation is the same, but the impression is totally different for me. I presume it's not just me. I believe many Japanese people may feel this way. So if you know Japanese, let me know in the comments.
Hello?
And if you agree. So even though kanji creates complexity, it also makes Japanese easier to read, but clearer in meaning and richer in nuance. So in short, Japanese has had to keep this complexity in order to function well. Before moving on to the next, I want to share today's sponsor, Italki. For those of you who don't know about Italki, Italki is an online language learning platform offering personalized one-on-one lessons with native-speaking teachers. One of the reasons I can speak English now is definitely thanks to practicing English conversation like Italki. If you have ever tried learning a language, you know the hardest part isn't reading or grammar, but just using the language in real situations. What I like about Italki is that you get to talk with real native speakers, whether you are just starting or already know some basics.
そうですそうです。なんか日本でそう友達作るの難しいってみんな言います。
日本語喋れないと、
うん。
日本人の人とチャット会うのはやっぱハードルちょっとありますよね。
そうですね。うん。
じゃあそういった意味で、また友達じゃないけど、
確かに確かに
喋る機会
いいかもしれないですね。
Italki teachers, you're not just memorizing words, you are gradually improving your speaking and listening skills in Japanese with real conversations. And the teacher give you instant feedback and guidance so you can fix mistakes on the spot instead of developing bad habits. You don't need to move abroad to immerse yourself in another culture. You can just log in, pick a teacher, and you're already there. Just book lessons whenever you want, and it's way more affordable than traditional classes. The best part is that you only pay per lesson, so it completely fits your budget and schedule. They also have an AI-powered premium feature called italki Pass, which is like an AI learning buddy you can use anytime between lessons. It helps you review and practice so you can actually learn faster. And now you can try it free for a month, which is nice. So if you are curious, check the link in the description below. Here is a little bonus. If you buy $10 of credit, you can get an extra $5 for free for your first lesson with my promotion code NAO now. It's only for the first 50 people though, so don't wait too long. Another thing that makes Japanese more complicated is the existence of wasei eigo, which is English-like words that were actually embedded in Japan and only used in Japan. So why do they exist? Well, because the Japanese didn't originally have enough words to cover all the new concepts and technologies that came flooding in from abroad. That is why katakana became the go-to system for borrowing foreign words. But there was one big problem. Japanese can't produce many English sounds accurately. R and L and D and Z and so on don't exist in Japanese. So when the foreign was adopted, they inevitably got reshaped to fit Japanese pronunciation. Take dress shirts, for example. But in Japanese, it became waishatsu because people misheard white shirts. I do understand it's weird, especially if you
It's freaking awesome though, it's freaking awesome.
An English native speaker. But listen carefully. Waishatsu, waishatsu, waishatsu. It's a bit like white shirts, white shirts. It's not the same obviously, but it sounds similar. And it doesn't stop there. Some words look like English, but actually mean something totally different. For example, mansion means apartment in Japan, not mansion. Consento means outlet, not consent. But the pronunciation is almost identical to English. The meaning is completely different. And then it goes even further. Japan started combining English words to create expressions that don't exist at all in English.
Damn.
For example, baby car. Can you guess the meaning? Baby car. Baby car.
Bro, that's freaking awesome.
What means stroller? How about this? Paper driver. Paper driver. Which is like paper driver, but they combine. It means someone who has driving license but never actually drives.
Oh.
So that
like paper gangster. So that makes sense, man. Like paper gangster. Why did they kick me? Is it because I suck? Frick. So, how are you doing? I still haven't decided what my schedule will be. I don't even know if it's gonna be viable. If there are gonna be a lot of Japanese people who will book me as a tutor. If I did it 3 a.m. to 3 a.m. to, I don't know, 12 noon. I don't know what to do. I don't think I need the, what do you call this? Minotaurus shields. Besting. Let's try the besting horse. This is gonna be hard. I haven't really used the besting horse. Excuse me. Oh no. So yeah, I took a nap today. And I still haven't got any seedlings. I've been talking about it last week. What the freak? That's a lot of damage. What the freak? It's so unfair. Come on, man. It's like I don't feel like playing Genshin Impact today.
Driving license is literally a paper. So Wase Eigo isn't wrong English. It was a practical solution to fill the gaps in Japanese. But by reshaping sound, changing meanings, and creating new words, well, Japanese end up becoming even more complex. If you have studied Japanese, you've definitely run into this confusion. Another thing that makes Japanese especially complex is the sheer number of onomatopoeia, the word that imitates sounds or describes states. Well, English has same like boom or tic-tac, but Japanese has thousands. Take rain, for example, zaza, which means like basically heavy rain, potsu potsu. It's like a mild drizzle, and shito shito. It's a like gentle rain, but sounds more like poetic. A Japanese person might casually say something like, "wa soto zaza da wa." It means that it's pouring rain outside. For Japanese speakers, that short phrase already makes perfect sense. Because when they hear the sound zaza, their mind automatically connects into the heavy rain. So no need to add the word rain or any other nouns. The onomatopoeia itself carries the whole meaning. This is what makes Japanese so unique. An entire situation can be communicated with just a sound. If you use Google Translate, it even gives its rustling outside now. It's obviously different meaning. Or take heartbreak as example as well. Doki doki, it's a nervous excitement. Baku baku, it's a pounding from strong tension. And hara hara, anxious, uneasy feeling. But all of these are ways to describe the same physical heartbeat, but with different nuances. For Japanese, language learners, this is nightmare. So how many of these onomatopoeia words exist in Japan? Well, it's depending on how you count. There are at least 4,500 onomatopoeia
What
in
the freak?
dictionaries, but include everyday slang and new ones from social media. And some estimates say over 10,000, which is ridiculous. And here is the thing, in many languages, these words don't even exist. So Japanese is, piling on layers of complexity that other languages don't have. Bad thing is, Japanese complexity doesn't stop at words themselves. And it extends into social relationships as well. That is where Keigo, the honorific system, comes in. Japanese honorifics fall into 3 categories. Alright, so the first one is Sonkeigo, which is like respectful language, elevates the other person. So for example, eat, which is taberu in Japanese, becomes meshiagaru. And the second one is Kenjogo, the humble language, lowers yourself. The same, eat, which is taberu again, while referring to yourself, becomes itadaku. The last one is teinego, the polite language, make the whole sentence polite. So again,
Wow, man. I wish I were like that. Hold on, I'm gonna get some water. Shit, man. You know, at my work, I gotta file my own taxes. Adulting sucks, man. Frick. Why? Why won't they do it for me? I gotta file my own taxes. Shit. You know, most people don't even have to, man. What the freaking hell?
eat, taberu. What simply becomes tabemasu. So as you hear, a single act to eat requires what much
You know, I'm actually squatting on my chair
more
right
possible
now.
work
I'm freaking squatting.
depending on who you are talking to. So why did this complicated system develop? But because Japanese society has always placed great emphasis on
Squat on me chair, Mike.
basically long-term status were strictly defined and the language reflected those divisions. At the same time, Japanese culture strongly values harmony and avoiding conflict, as you know. By raising the other person and lowering yourself, you soften interaction.
I always do that. But then people don't like it. People here in the Philippines don't like it.
And maintain smooth relationships. So that is why I feel so awkward speaking to older
Shit,
Japanese
man.
people in English. Because
Man, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be paid less, but I'm gonna be taxed more. Man, it's so unfair. The frick is wrong. Something is wrong. Shit.
I don't know how to say eat politely in English. There is probably, whether I'm talking to friends or older people, I say I ate sushi yesterday. I don't obviously change the sentence or even worse. Let me know if there is any good way to express it politely in English. The result is that Japanese changes not only based on what you want to say, but also on who you say it to. So this makes it one of the most socially complex languages in the world. Even native speakers sometimes struggle to use my keigo correctly, and for learners, it's one of the hardest barriers. So Indian to Japanese didn't become like ridiculously complex by accident. It had to, unfortunately, because of the merit of its sound, the need to show respect, and the culture that values nuance and harmony. That is why Japanese is full of rules and expressions that can seem almost unimaginable. Good or bad, I'm a native, so I don't feel much about the Japanese language besides it being complicated. So I'd like to know from your perspective as a foreigner, how you feel and perceive the Japanese language. So let me know in the comments
Yeah.
below. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden side of Japan, don't miss the video. Click here.
Of course, I'm aware of the Chan, San, Kun. What else? Chan, San, Kun, San. What the suffixes they put on your name. Damn. That's why I don't study Japanese, bro. Because I don't have the willpower.
Here on the screen, and I will see you there. Alright, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
I like that skit about can you make my cat be able to talk, to speak? Can you make my cat able to speak? I like that skit.
What's that, Mr. Marbles? That's not the language that I speak. Yeah, I can't understand. I don't know what that means, though. Yeah, hold on a second. Hey, Genie, I'm ready for my second wish.
Awesome, I'm guessing your second wish is to undo your first wish?
Why would I want to undo Pinocchio nipples? No, I want my cat to be able to talk.
What do you mean?
Like, just give him the ability to talk.
Human vocal cords and all that?
Yes, please.
Okay, man, whatever you say.
Oh, it's done?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, thanks, Genie. Bye.
Fucking idiot.
Hey, Mr. Marbles, say something. Come on, what's on your mind? Oh my god. No, I hate that. Say words, okay? Oh, I hate that so much. Hey, Genie, why isn't Mr. Marbles talking?
What's up? What's going on?
He's not talking. He's not saying words.
It takes like a year and a half for a human baby to start talking. You think your cat's just gonna start spouting out full sentences?
I mean, yeah, that's what I wished for.
No, you wished for him to be able to talk, which he is. He just doesn't know how to yet.
Oh, that is some bullshit, Genie.
Hey, if you want to use your third wish, I could speed up the learning process.
No, it's fine. I'll wait it out.
Okay, bye.
Can you say dada?
What the frick?
Son of a bitch. Please stop.
What?
This is so much worse than meowing.
No, I was thinking maybe I could come over to your place later, you know?
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
No, I don't have a man over. Dude, it is 3 a.m. What are you laughing now?
That's still not work.
Holy shit, that's me.
Wait, what is, that's not anything. Okay, Genie. Hello there. Yeah, I'm done. I want you to fix it. The Pinocchio nipples? No, everybody loves the Pinocchio nipples. I get compliments on them all the time. Seriously? Yes, people love them. Look, I just want you to make Mr. Marble speak full sentences, okay? You sure? Yes. All right, there you go, man. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. Bye forever. So, Mr. Marbles, what's on your mind? Hey. Okay, that was super racist.
You know, I think that one's gonna stick with me. You know, when I'm trying to motivate people, you know, I'm gonna say it takes years for a human. It takes years for a baby to learn their native language. Man, it's a really dumb motivation, but whatever. Yeah. English. Misty don't
Hey guys, it's Yuta. So, everybody knows that Japanese people don't quite speak English, even though we study English for hours and hours. And many people have opinions. It could be the suboptimal education, or it could be because Japanese people are kind of shy, or it could be because English and Japanese are very, very different. But if you look at this from a broader perspective and look at other Asian countries, there's nothing really strange about why Japanese people don't speak English. So here's the 3 big reasons. Number 1, colonization. So think of Asian countries and jurisdictions where English has an official or semi-official status. I mean, in Singapore, Malaysia, India, the Philippines, or Hong Kong, many people speak English as their first or second language. And all of those countries were colonized by Western nations. Singapore was colonized by the British
We're going there.
for nearly a century and a half. Malaysia again was colonized by the British, and obviously India was colonized by the British. And the Philippines was actually occupied by the United States after the Spanish colonial period. And of course Hong Kong was ruled by the British before. But if you look at East Asia, none of the places except Hong Kong were colonized by Western nations. So in Japan, South Korea, mainland China, or Taiwan, people don't speak a lot of English. So colonization plays a huge role here. Number 2, ethnic and linguistic diversity. Again, if you think of English-speaking Asian nations, they tend to be pretty ethnically and linguistically diverse. For example, India, they have nearly 800 languages, and Singapore and Malaysia are also very ethnically diverse, and they have more than 100 languages. And the Philippines, they're less ethnically diverse, but they're pretty diverse in terms of language. And if you live in a place where different people speak different languages, English could be a useful language for communication. It's not like everybody in those countries speaks English every day, but English has an important place in their society one way or another. But in Japan, it's very different. The only official language in Japan is Japanese. But of course we do have a few minority languages, but pretty much everybody who is educated in Japan speaks Japanese anyway. So there's no place for a common language other than Japanese. And if you grow up in a society where everybody pretty much speaks only one language, learning a new language can be pretty difficult. But if you go to India, for example, where many people speak several languages, learning a new language is easier for them. So I have the impression that Indian people, when they learn Japanese, they learn pretty fast. But then again, if you look at East Asia, many places are pretty similar because they tend to be pretty homogeneous. The exception, of course, is mainland China, which is pretty diverse and they have around 300 languages. But then again, because of the lack of Western influences and their strong cultural identity, there doesn't seem to be a place for English. Actually, many Asian languages,
Yeah, they just don't care.
including Japanese, are very strongly influenced by Chinese. Number 3. Economy. This may be a little less obvious, but if you can make decent money without speaking English, there's little incentive to learn
Yeah.
English. Japan has the third
I told you, they don't need to. They don't need to speak English.
largest economy in the world, and it has 127 million people in Japan. So if you speak Japanese, you can have access to this huge economy. But for example, if you live in a country where people make $200 per month just by speaking English, you can have a better paid job almost instantly. So in many of those countries, for example, outsourcing is a huge business. Now, an interesting example is South Korea, because they are also a highly advanced homogeneous society, like Japan. But I have the impression that South Korean people speak English a little more than Japanese people. And I think part of the reason is the economy.
Because of the... because of the races.
Because their population is less than half, and their GDP is smaller. And I think this explains why K-pop artists market themselves pretty aggressively overseas, whereas J-pop artists, they tend to just stick with the Japanese market. Because South Korea's music industry is pretty small compared to Japan, the United States, or the UK. So that's why they often have their songs in other languages, including English and Japanese. And this is not that uncommon because many Italian artists, for example, they also
Don't know what to do without you. No, I really like Twice. No, I loved Twice back in 2019. That's when I really listened to them. Twice and Blackpink. Don't know what to do without you. But you know, I'm not a big K-pop fan. Ayan. You know, I like K-pop. I like those songs because I like them. No, I don't wanna ruin my little fandom by interacting with other fans. Because there's always people who, you know, say, I've known them longer than you. I know more about their personal lives more than you. Man, I don't like that.
sing in Spanish, because the Spanish-speaking market is much bigger. And I think this also affects other areas. For example, if you study in Japan, you can get pretty much all kinds of information in Japanese. So if you go to a Japanese university, for example, all the study materials are in Japanese. And if you go to a Japanese bookshop, almost all of the books are in Japanese. And you can read about pretty advanced or academic stuff in Japanese, because often it's translated into Japanese. But that's not necessarily the case in many other countries, because if you want to study university level stuff, you need to understand English, because study materials are not always available in your local language. And many of the semi-English speaking Asian countries I mentioned before, higher education often takes place in English, which is completely different from Japan. So the thing about Japan is, even very well educated people, they don't really speak English, unless they're super curious about things around the world.
Yeah, they don't need to, man. They don't need to. You know, when I was studying, of course the textbooks were in English. Of course, most of the psychology books they made us read, they were mostly in English. Except for Filipino psychology.
Well, not happy with the kind of information they can get in Japanese. Which, by the way, is part of the reason why I speak English.
Your top tower
So,
is under attack.
considering those reasons, there's nothing really special about why Japanese people don't really speak English. And this is not just Asia, because from this perspective, you can perfectly explain Africa.
And of course, other people are not the only problem. I'm also part of the problem. I'm not very good with people. Unless it's for like work. I'm not very good with personal relationships and friendships. Hell yeah. Good clash.
Enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Because many African countries are diverse and they were also colonized by Western nations. So many African people speak English, French or Portuguese depending on who colonized them. So this means that if you want to come to Japan, learn about Japanese culture and make Japanese friends,
Hey, you know what? If I were to go to Africa, I think I'd freaking learn French. So I just like to share back in I think early 2020. Yeah, I was drinking with an Algerian. Yeah, I was drinking with an Algerian back in 2020, so that was a one-off. So yeah, so your little French, of course, you know, Gem of Hell. What else? What else did I know back then? Oliver. Of course, everyone knows Bon Appetit. And you know, I just like to learn phrases, you know, in case I get lost. Anyway, you see, right now I'm not even trying to learn Spanish anymore because I don't cater to US anymore. I'm gonna freaking cater to Japanese people, but I don't need to learn their language. I'm gonna be teaching them English.
Duolingo, I know, uses masenka to mean would you like to. But isn't masen the negative form? How does this work? Masenka can be translated as would you like to in many situations, but not every situation. So it's not a perfect one-to-one translation. For example, if you are at work because you haven't been fired yet, you can say this to your
What the frick?
coworker without any prior conversation. Ramen tabemasen ka? You wanna eat some ramen? This means you're inviting your coworker to eat ramen with you because you're totally capable of making friends at work. In this context,
What
you
the
can translate
frick?
that.
Why is he being so tacky, bro? Shit. Spicy. So if you're at work because you haven't been fired yet,
Ramen tabemasen ka? As would you like to eat ramen with me? If that's how you talk to your coworker. But masenka doesn't always mean would you like to. Let's say your clients are visiting your office.
Are you an a-hole? Man, this guy.
Your top tower is under attack.
Oh,
And you want to offer them some water. In English, I think you can say, would you like some water? But in Japanese, we wouldn't say, お水飲みませんか? Because it sounds more like an invitation to drink water together, which doesn't fit this context. You can technically interpret this as just offering some water, but we typically don't say this. It's not like inviting your clients to go to a hipster matcha cafe to form a performative client-developer relationship like, I'm not like other developers. You're just offering them water as a host. What can you say in Japanese? You can say something like, お水いかがですか? How would you like some water? How about some water? So, no ませんか here. ませんか conveys very over politeness. Wouldn't you or wouldn't we or whatever. Not true. ませんか isn't overly polite. It can be pretty casual, like you can be close to your coworker, like drinking together, singing karaoke together, going to a club, and blossom into a beautiful wallflower together. And you can use mustard.
man, I honestly don't want that kind of life, man. It just revolves around work and getting drunk. Man, that was my life before, man. Before I got myself together. And being miserable. Frick! That was so smart.
Masenka with them pretty casually. Ramen 食べませんか? You wanna eat some ramen? Pretty casual. Some people try to explain the difference between plain Japanese like ramen 食べない? You wanna eat some ramen? And ramen 食べませんか? You wanna eat some ramen? Using the difference between do you want to and would you like to in English. It doesn't fully convey the nuances between ramen 食べない? You wanna eat some ramen that you might use with your friends. Ramen 食べませんか? You wanna eat some ramen with your coworkers. Because when you speak plain Japanese with your friends, ramen 食べない? You stick with plain Japanese. You don't suddenly start using this or must just because you want to be polite with your friends, with some exceptions that I discussed in another video. But in English, you can use do you want to and would you like to with the same person depending on the situation. So, ませんか can both mean do you want to or would you like to depending on the situation. Is it interchangeable with ない? He didn't answer the second part, but yes, it is interchangeable with ない. It's not entirely wrong, but it's not 100% interchangeable either. So from ませんか to ない, I think you can always do this to convert ませんか into plain Japanese. So ラーメン食べませんか becomes ラーメン食べない? Do you want to eat ramen? But from ない to ませんか, you can't always do this because we have another negative form.
Shit, man. Can't I just be like formal all the time? Freaking sound like a robot. Shit. Come on, man.
Nai desu. You can say, ramen 食べないですか? Which can mean, are you not going to eat ramen? Are you sure you don't want to eat ramen with us? Which can have different nuances. For example, you're about to leave the office to eat ramen with your coworkers together. But you notice another coworker, Koto-san, is not
Oh my
leaving.
God.
Not because she's socially awkward, which she totally is, but because she's busy. And you're Kazehaya-kun from Community Loke, who wants to include everybody. So you said to Goto-san, ramen 食べないですか? Are you not gonna eat ramen with us? Make sure you care about her. If you say, ramen tabemasen ka to her, it sounds pretty different, as though it's the first time you are inviting her, which isn't the only possible interpretation, but you can see there are differences. But in plain Japanese, we only have nai. We don't have multiple negative forms. Of course, you can add something like no and say ramen tabenai no. That's another discussion. And I actually have an interesting episode regarding nai desu ka, because I used to have this coworker who would say something like ramen tabenai desu
Nai
ka
desu ka?
to invite me to eat ramen with him.
Nani
Even though in that
desu
kind of
ka?
situation, I'd use masen ka and say ramen tabemasen ka. So to me, the way he invited me sounded a little passive in a way that, oh, maybe you don't want to eat ramen with me, but maybe you would. Or like, I wonder if you would want to eat ramen with me. Something like that. But maybe to him, it could have been just a normal way of inviting me to eat ramen. So there's a room for interpretation, and this kind of thing can be pretty subjective. If you ask different native speakers,
Shit, you know what? Sometimes I get the hint. But I don't wanna freaking hell, man. I don't wanna spend half of my daily wage just,
Are fortified.
I don't know.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe I can spend it at a freaking
Your bottom tower
fast food restaurant, but I don't wanna do stuff. No, there's a very consistent bug.
you might get different answers. So this is how I interpret these sentences. And that's why if you want to learn Japanese with me, I'll help you acquire how real-life Japanese people speak Japanese today based on how different native speakers speak Japanese, not just based on how I personally speak Japanese. I actually analyzed transcriptions of natural unscripted conversations between different native speakers. So click on the link in the description and subscribe to my email.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have a
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not very used to having Japanese people on video conferences. I'm very used to Americans. I don't want to sound racist, but I am very used to white people and other Americans. I don't know what it's gonna feel like when I'm always on video conference with Japanese people. So I'm guessing that when I'm new, I'm gonna stare. Yeah. I'm gonna stare at a lot of them. And stare at them for a moment, for a second, no?
Group. I feel like Masenka would be like, wouldn't some ramen be nice? Not really. Masenka is a pretty straightforward expression. So it's not as elaborated as
Now I'm very used to native English speakers. Of course, not only white people. Bro. I have a story. So okay, so at my previous job, for like 9 months. Yeah, 9 months. So, you know. Oh. Oh. So, you know, I can see that one guy was having a hard time, you know, trying not to laugh. You know, I think he was Hispanic. I mean, but of course his accent was like, you know, native Californian. looks looks like he yeah, so his camera was on, and then he kept on touching his nose. He was about to laugh multiple times. Can you? Yeah, can you imagine Lisa? Yeah, can you imagine the PFP? Where was the default image? Display pic. Where is it? Why isn't this one? So, this one. This was my display picture when I was on video conferences, or you know, online meetings. No, can you imagine a grown man's voice telling you how to I mean assisting you with a website or a program. Lol. Alright, night to you. Shit. Yeah, that was like freaking 9 months.
Your top tower is under attack. Minute. You know what? I think I don't wanna play Genshin right now. I wanna get back to. I think I'm grinding Collier right now. Frick. I think I'm grinding Collier right now, so. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with Collie. Maybe she can lay down a... Hold on. How do you spell Collie? Collie. Benetton Collie. Man, you know what? Genshin influencers are just freaking hype people. And then they freaking overhype everything. You know, they say that, oh, then this character is gonna be your freaking Lord and Savior. Everything's gonna be 10 times better when you get this character. The frick. Like when you do this build, everything's gonna be 10 times better. But it ain't.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Oh wow, she's been around since 2022.
Shingo Cafe, sip your way to Seoul. Make your South
I
Korea
know.
trip
I'm really not interested in going to South Korea.
come true. Hey! Emerge.
No thanks, man. I think I got her for... I think I got her for free. And on the story.
Today I want to talk about Colette and hopefully help you figure out if she fits your playstyle and team compositions. It's a 4-star character, so I'm not going to tell you to pull for her. I just want to cover her since she's new. Don't get too distracted by the video title, it's just part of a series I'm doing which is mainly meant for 5-star characters. First I will go over her skill kit and talk about some build ideas, and in the later half I'll get into synergies with other characters and team compositions. Let's get right to her elemental skills, since her normal attacks aren't anything special. Colette throws the Dendro Boomerang, which hits both on the throw and on the return. Her burst skill summons a pet that bounces around with an effect area around it, dealing Dendro damage. As for passives, the first one, if a Dendro reaction is triggered by the elemental skill, it grants the Sprout effect to the active character once the boomerang returns. And this deals AoE Dendro damage.
Anyway, you know, so... During my last month at work, you know, one of my callers... Whatever. Frick. God.
Based on Colette's attack over 4 seconds. Her second passive increases the burst skill duration by 1 second, up to a maximum of 3 seconds whenever a character triggers a reaction with it. And the last
What the frick is this? What video is this?
is just 20% gliding stamina cost reduction.
What video was that?
Collei seems to have good off-field Dendro application between her Elemental Burst skill and the Sprout effect from her passive skill, assuming it also applies Dendro. So she is likely used as a Dendro sub-DPS who enables elemental reactions with other characters, though her Elemental skill might actually do some decent damage as well. As for the build, the weapon is pretty straightforward, she is just another stringless character. As for artifacts, it's quite hard to predict. The new Deepwood memory set to decrease Dendro resistance probably doesn't make too much sense if Collei is the only Dendro character in your team. So for now it's a little niche until we get more Dendro characters. As for the other new set, Gilded Dreams, I don't see it being used since she doesn't need Elemental Mastery. As much as I hate to say it, but Collei might just be another Emblem of Severed Fate character for now. For teams, as we established, Collei is a Dendro sub-DPS character who wants to enable elemental reactions, or she provides value with the Deepwood memory set to another Dendro character. The first and probably strongest and most consistent option is a Burning team. For this I just pick Bennett as our standard healer, and then we need a Hydro and Pyro character.
Everything must burn.
For Hydro characters are Ayato or Child, for example, and then you can pick a Pyro sub-DPS character pretty much out. Then next we can do it the other way around and pick something like Yelan or Jincho as sub-DPS character and pick a Pyroman DPS character like the Yoimiya or Yanfei, for example. You obviously trigger the Bloom reaction with your Hydro character and then trigger a bunch of Burgeon reactions with your Pyro character off that. And the next best option is running the Deepwood memory set on Collei and, like I said, increasing the value of the Dendro main DPS. Right now we only have Tonari, and for him I think the best option is running a Burn Burgeon build. We obviously only have Zhangling as a Pyro sub-DPS, and as your healer you could run something like Kokomi or Barbara for the Bloom effect. In the future, when we get more and less slow and hard-hitting Dendro main DPS characters, you could do something like, for example, an Activate build, where you could just run Bennett as a healer and a Electro sub-DPS character and just do slow and hard-hitting aggravate triggers. Like, for example, if you think about it, it's basically the equivalent to a Mutao Vanguard team. And the last option, which might not work out because Collei might not be able to keep up with the Dendro application, is a aggravate team with a Electro main DPS character. For example, Raiden or Keqing, and then you can slot in something like C6 Sarah or Tazura to increase the Electro damage of your main DPS character further. Alright, we made it to the end. I hope this was somewhat...
Shit, I didn't understand anything. That's because I don't really use Dendro. I think I only have 2 Dendro characters, Collei being one of them. Damn!
helpful. Make sure to pick up the pre-con...
Who else do I have? I mean, I wanna do burn. Man, I don't know how that works. After this match, I'm gonna try it. Let's see. You know, I haven't seen the FNAF movie. That was way back in 2023, right?
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Something like, wouldn't some ramen be nice? So with your lonely, girly coworker, ramen tabemasenka can sound as casual as, hey, wanna eat some ramen? We actually have a more formal expression, ikaga desu ka? And you can say, ramen ikaga desu ka? Would you like some ramen? And this is not how you speak to your lonely, girly coworker. It's a little too formal. I usually translate masenka as why don't we, like why don't we go eat ramen together? So you could use why don't we as a way to explain how a negative form can mean an invitation, but why don't we and masenka can have different nuances. I feel like why don't we can sound more like a soft proposal when you have a prior conversation going on. Like you're talking to your coworkers about what to eat, and you're like, how about sushi? I don't think so. How about pasta? I ate pasta yesterday. And then you can say, hey, why don't we just eat ramen? It's fast.
Man, this guy makes me wanna go to my favorite ramen place tomorrow.
It's quick, and who would want to gain some extra body fat? So with why don't we, there could be some prior conversation. And you can actually
And
use...
he's really spicy, man. You won't get body fat from ramen. It's just freaking water. Water and a little bit of carbs.
Ramen tabemasenka in this situation, no problem. But if you're just working side by side with your coworker who is playing Candy Crush and you want to invite her, I don't think you would typically say, hey, why don't we eat some ramen? Which you can, but it also sounds like you've been thinking about it internally, or maybe there's some prior conversation, while would you like to sounds more neutral, just an invitation. Just like that, you can say, ramen tabemasenka? Hey, do you want to eat some ramen? Out of the blue, because it's a pretty neutral invitation. My Japanese teacher said masenka was another way of saying masho, let's do things. That's not true at all. Ramen tabemashou is more like let's eat ramen. You've already decided because people don't always want to make decisions. Masenka is almost exactly like wouldn't you like in English. It's a negative verb form used to express a positive request. Not sure why English speakers have trouble understanding this when it's literally the same. Again, I understand that you can use wouldn't you like as an example of how a negative form can be an invitation, but I'm not convinced that it's almost exactly the same. Let's compare these sentences. Would you like to eat ramen?
Why did... What the frick?
One of the easiest ways to move to Japan is to become an English teacher. Japan has one of the lowest
I don't wanna go physically.
English proficiency rates in the world, so there's a high demand for English teachers. But monthly salaries can be as low as $1,400 after taxes, and some teachers can only afford to eat one meal per day. The cost of living in Japan is...
What the frick? 1 meal a day, I'm gonna die, man. I'm gonna complain all day.
lower compared to Western countries, but $1,400 is not a lot of money, especially for Tokyo. Sure, it's a livable wage if you just want to teach for a year or two and have some fun in Japan, but an English assistant teacher is not a respectable job in Japanese society. It doesn't look good on your resume, and there is zero career growth unless you teach at a private or international school. I have lots of respect for educators, but it's just that in Japan, there is a stigma around foreigners teaching English. It's a very unserious job for weebs who then become bitter because of lousy salary and work culture. So if you're looking for a job in Japan, the IT industry definitely offers the best work-life balance and salary. One of the easiest ways to move to Japan is to become an English teacher. Japan has one of the lowest English proficiency.
No, I've never dreamt of moving to Japan, even visiting. Excuse me.
今18です。高校で勉強したてじゃないですか、英語とか。そうですね。じゃあちょっと一人ずつ自己紹介英語でお願いします。
Hey guys, it's Yuta. Check this out.
Oh, my name is Kaneko Aib. I like Japan. Oh, Japan is very beautiful. And me is beautiful. My name is Naoki Tanaue. I'm from Osaka. Japan is beautiful. Thank you.
My name is Isora Maesaki. English difficult. It's not Japanese like. Thank you.
英語で自己紹介とかってお願いできます？
My name is Papaya. I'm fine. Thank you. 終わり。
My name is Mizuki. Thank you.
恥ずかしがらないで。
それしか言えんと思って。これ以上何も言えんと。
I'm so とか fine ぐらいしか言えないです。
Yeah, that guy's right. Yeah, the freaking assurance.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
ありがとうございます。もうやっぱ英語はもう小中高で終わりですかね。
小中高で終わりだと思う。相当英語が好きな子じゃない限り。
英語でちょっと簡単な自己紹介ちょっとお願いしたいんですよ。
My name is オト的な感じなんですかね。わかんないです。でもそれぐらいしか言わないし、学校でも My name is 名前でそこで My favorite color My favorite color is なのかな is black red みたいな。
結構できるじゃないですか。じゃあお姉さんもお願いします。
My name is 清香。My favorite is 何？好きなもの？好きなもの。何？分からへん。好きなもの。スポーツ。とか言うとか。
英語でちょっと軽く自己紹介ちょっとお願いしたいんですよ。
Hello, I'm Natsumi. Nice to meet you. Hello, I'm Akane. I'm from Nagoya. Nice to meet you.
簡単な英語で自己紹介ちょっとお願いしたいです。じゃあお姉さんから。
Hi, hello. My name is Momma Kyoko. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Masai Ohara. Thank you.
Why am I watching this? So that I have an idea of the common trend or patterns.
ありがとうございます。ちょっと英語で簡単な自己紹介をちょっとお願いしたいんですけど、もうめっちゃ簡単な英語で大丈夫です。じゃあお願いします。
You know, that guy was actually correct grammatically. It's not Japanese like. If you well, why the frick am I explaining how a Japanese guy is correct in English? Frick.
何を自己紹介？名前とか？はい。I'm ミサ三枝。I'm 57 years old. My name is ケイコ池下。
Oh. Oh, this one.
マイフレンドミサ。以上で。はい。
普段英語話す機会とかってありますか？
全くないです。Thank you ないです。My name is 陽介。Congratulations My name is Felix My name is あつし
い。ありがとうございます。あ、めっちゃ頭いいです。あ、めっちゃ頭いい。
苦手なんですよ、英語。
My name is 鈴名佐藤。What's your name?
I'm 空春前。I'm from 奈良。Nice to meet you。
高2で。高17歳。あ、一緒。簡単な自己紹介をしていただきたい。本当に簡単でいいです。
My name is ゆあり。年齢何やったっけ？年齢なんていうんやっけ？全く分からない。I like 寿司。年齢なんていうんやったっけ？いや、分からん。じゃあお姉さん。
My name is Sana. I like みかん。
Oh yeah, it freaking reminds me of Spanish. You tengo
Your top barracks are under attack.
31.
無理です。ありがとうございました。英語を勉強し始めたばかりって感じです。
お母さんがちっちゃい時からなんか英語のテレビを見せてくれてて、それで結構聞き取る力はついてます。My name is Mikono. I like piano. I like chocolate very much. Nice to meet you.
I really pronounce the R with the L. Fucking shit. Laughing out loud. I guess I'll see. I'll see.
ありがとうございます。軽くでいいので英語で自己紹介ってお願いできますか。
チョコレート、ニズコ、ニズコ。
My name is ゆうたろう山下。元気たっぷり。
My name is 翔太篠原。I'm actor. I'm actor.
If you want to say more than just hi, how are you to Japanese people and be understood, I will teach you the kind of Japanese the real life Japanese people today actually speak, because textbooks and apps can be unnatural and outdated. So click the link and subscribe to my email group, Japanese with Yuta.
Your ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
Well, you know, the teaching material is already laid out. I just need to teach it. And if the student wants to do conversations instead, you know, of course, well, I'm gonna be true to my word during my interview. So I said that I'm really gonna do my best to teach them the whole module before moving on to what they want. You know, not to skip anything. You know, I think my style is gonna be to remind them that they paid for this. They paid for the lesson, so they should get the whole lesson. We cannot rush, no. You know, I think I gotta learn how to manage the time. I think I'm gonna get like 25 minutes per session. So I gotta be able to teach the whole module in 25 minutes. Answer any questions. Do all the corrections.
Yeah, I still can't believe that I passed. I still cannot believe that I passed first try. I guess that the interviewer really liked that, I would prefer to teach professionals rather than children. I mean, of course, if it's gonna be children, your parents or the guardian paid for it, so there's a possibility that they're not gonna take it seriously. Or maybe they're not focused. Yeah, I think right now I'm gonna get some water. Hold on. Right now I'm considering, using my other wall. Frick. Maybe I'll check the seeds that I planted like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Man, I'm not freaking counting on it. Este sumulong to noon. It's been taking so long to load. Collie, collie, collie. Man, this sucks. You know, I don't like foraging. Where is it? Where?
You're in for a little shock. You...
Boba, get them!
Disappear!
Oh wow.
Come a little
Why not? I
closer.
just remember I gotta do Spiral Abyss.
You've been a naughty boy.
No, I don't wanna do it. I don't wanna forage, bro. No, I really don't wanna listen to other VTubers anymore. Ever since, I don't know, 2023. So I realized that's not really what I wanted to do. No, I just wanna ramble about stuff. Oh.
You're in for a little...
Wibbly wobbly! Don't slip and fall!
Man, I can't even find them. I think I see one. Maybe there's a like merchant I can buy it from.
For her, I don't know what. What do I do with her? Well, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while to grind. So I think I'll stock up on these for the future. Also, Lainey. What can I do with Lainey? I've been shunning the archers because I don't know how to use them. I don't know how to field them. Maybe I can get this one. Somero.
Let the wind lead. Got a job for me?
Aray mo.
Try not to enjoy.
They're dead meat! You're toast! Out of the frying pan! Look alive! Hi! Go and plunge!
Barbados! Got this!
Buckle up!
Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Boba, get...
Oh, freak. That's a very bad timing. But good thing it stayed inside. Oh, freak. I thought it was over.
You're in for a little shock.
Boba, get them!
Wind, hear me. You've been a naughty boy.
Out of the frying pan, it's...
Try not to.
Now I'm really in a
Let's get it on!
Barbados, guide us.
nice and spicy.
You come a little closer. Blitz. Hup, heap, up. Heap, you. Let's spark things up.
Gloves off!
No pala siya.
You've been a naughty boy.
Hi. How are you?
Blitz.
Let's get it on!
I have a question for you. Do you think I'll make a good English teacher to Japanese people?
You're in for a little shock. Surrender and
I really asked you that before asking if you're alright and how are you doing. Yep. It's great to hear and I'm doing fine as well.
you're in for a little shock. You've been a
No, I don't even need to be able to speak Japanese. I don't need to speak Japanese.
Blitz. Try not to enjoy. Barbados, guide us.
I'm a bit rusty.
Right.
And I wonder how long I'll last with this job. I don't think they're gonna replace teachers with AI soon.
I swear by my sword. Nice and spicy.
Come a little closer. Let's spark you.
You're toast. Into the fire.
You asked for it.
You're in for a little shock.
What the frick? I don't remember it being this powerful.
Let's get it on!
Barbados, guide us.
GG. I don't remember it being that powerful. Anyway, you guys probably hear how loud my electric fan is. I just put it on second gear. And it's pretty good to know that it's running on free energy. Maybe I should let me check out my other characters. I actually have a lot, and I'm not fielding most of them. Ain't nobody got time for that. I haven't really consumed any of my fragments or whatever you call them.
Oh no.
Whoa, what
I'm gonna
the
ruin my gloves.
what? Why do I feel like everything became stronger? Oh, the enemies became stronger. Why do I feel like that?
You've been a naughty boy.
Look alive! Ha! Race you! Bullet fly! Buckle up!
Let me amuse myself a little. Let me amuse myself a little.
Over here!
Look. northwest. You know what? I gotta remind myself not to make fun of what people believe in. Maybe the only thing keeping them from, I mean, it's not like he cannot relate. Yeah, I miss doing that. Yeah. I think I wanna go out tomorrow, freaking ride my bike. Even for just 10 minutes. No, not.
You're dead meat. Let's get it on. Come a little closer.
Anyway, I don't really care much.
You're in for a little shock. Blitz.
I do have toxic traits. And there are some people who I'd never invite. And I'm very tempted to I'm tempted to ban them if I'm gonna organize. If I'm gonna organize a gig, I'm gonna freaking ban them. Ban hammer that bit. I'm gonna ban that bit. Just because I don't like what they said or did to me in the past. I'm gonna ban them. Like, I'm gonna tell security or the staff that I'm gonna post a picture of them. Don't let this person in. Don't let this person in. See, I have a freaking toxic trait like that. Thinking about doing that. Maybe ban them for a day without telling them, no? Yeah. I'm so toxic and petty for thinking about that. Thinking about doing that. No. There's one person who really triggered me to start thinking like that. You know, I've only known her since last year, February last year. I'm gonna ban that bait.
You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy.
Yeah, without telling her. Can you imagine if she's gonna go? She's gonna come to the event and then the staff or security will tell her she cannot enter. And the only thing the staff or the guard knows, ma'am, you're banned. Banned po kayo. And if she asks why, there's no answer. She wouldn't even know that I'm the one who organized the event. Man, I'm very toxic, aren't I? Imagine being told by security, you're banned. And even the security doesn't know why. I try to ask them. Lol. Ban that bit. Shit. I'm so petty. Get back here. I'm all out of Mora. I still gotta do something after the stream though. I think I still have one. I have to take like an onboarding lesson. Man, always something to do. Oh wow, we got a wish. Character, please, character. Character! Oh my god, it's pink. Oh man, not a character. I appreciate though. I appreciate the bell. Now another one. Oh my. I already have 4.
We mercs have one simple rule. Whoever...
Okay, I'm gonna go now, guys. Thank you for dropping by. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Thank you for dropping by. Bye bye. See ya.